Un, dos, tres, y...
The chili spices are the same except the cumin is cut in half.
Yeah.
And then we add the paste with achiote, vinegar, and oregano, and then we add brown sugar to this as well.
And cinnamon too, right?
Yeah, sorry, and cinnamon, yeah.
This is our Choripapas video. It's our latest side dish. It's our debut of a potato side dish along with some house-made beef chorizo. Basically roast the potatoes in the beef chorizo fat and then mix it all together, top it with cheese and salsa. Let's make some Choripapas.
Dude, yesterday, without even having to say anything, Travis sharpened his knife. Honestly.
Really?
I was like, Travis is a crap dad.
So right now Pat is weighing out all the spices. You may have heard him in the beginning of the video talk about how the spice profile of this chorizo is very similar to our chili. And it is in the fact that it has ancho, some cumin, some garlic powder. But Pat also was saying that it has a puree of achiote and some vinegar and some oregano. You're also seeing him add some brown sugar just there. So it's slightly different than our chili spice profile. It has a little bit more warming spices, a little bit of acidity, a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of herbiness from that oregano too. But it tastes and smells similar, but also completely different at the same time as our chili. So you can see Pat putting together the components for the chorizo right now. He's got the puree, he's mixing up the spices right now, he's got everything set. Right here we're going to be pulling out some cheek ground barbacoa meat from the oven. We put this in overnight on Monday. If you want to see that, you can go to our Monday video, watch us grind all that cheek and barbacoa meat and put that in the oven. Then we just run that as low as it can go overnight, about 200 degrees. It breaks down all the kind of connective tissue in there. Then we put it into a big container, put in our achiote, vinegar, oregano puree, put in all our spices, and then mix that up. You saw Pat kind of mixing it up with the whisk in the beginning to kind of break up all the big chunks. We're doing that again now, and then he's going to let it stand and sit so we can let all the fat kind of rise to the top. We're going to pull that fat off, like ladle it off little by little, and then we're going to roast our potatoes in that fat. So we're going to take all this lovely beef fat that has all the spices and all the flavor in it, and we don't want to keep it in the Choripapas because then they'll be too greasy. It's already a pretty rich dish as it is. We don't want to just like overload it with grease. So ladling some of the grease off as much as we possibly can, and then we are going to use that fat to roast the potatoes and then mix those roasted potatoes with that chorizo, and then we're good to go. Here's Bromley cutting a few red potatoes. We find red potatoes are really nice for this recipe because they don't kind of break down like any kind of starchy potato like a Yukon or like an Idaho russet. So cut them, put them in water overnight, drain them, spread them out on sheet trays, a little bit of chorizo fat, a little bit of salt, and then we're going to pop those guys in the oven for a little while until they are nice and cooked through and roasted. There's our chorizo fat right there. Mix it all up. Probably going to be about 45 minutes in the oven. I think we're rocking about 350. Kind of mix them and stir them and rotate them at least one time. Really just want the potatoes to be cooked tender. And again, we're using these red roasted potatoes, not a kind of more starchy. These are more of a waxy potato. Looking good already and roasted there. Scrape them off the pan. Multiple pans. Ladle on the goodness. All beef chorizo, baby! Mix it up by hand. Listen closely here for the squish. Doesn't that just sound like deliciousness? There's a misspelled label, and we're just going to ladle this stuff, not ladle it, spoon it, serve it, dish it up into a boat, our serving vessel of choice. Oh, look at how good and steamy. I wish you could smell this through this grate. It smells so good. Dish it up a little bit. Our choripapas. We say choripapas, not papachoris, because there's more chorizo than papas in here. I guess it's a side dish. It's just a lot of meat. Anyway, scoop it up into the boat. We're gonna garnish it up here now. Don't forget the misspelled label. Throw a little cheese on top. Throw some cheese on that bit. And then we're gonna do a little bit of salsa after that. And that's it. That's our choripapas. This has become one of our most selling sides, highest selling sides. People love a potato side dish. They love side dishes with meat in them too. This is just a no-brainer. This is something my grandmother used to make every Saturday morning. Throw a fried egg on top, fresh flour tortillas. What more can you want? God, that looks amazing. Choripapas, man. That shit hits right home for me. That's like comfort food. Chorizo con papas con huevo, a little bit of flour tortilla. Hit print.
Hey!